In this video, we finally broke ground for the goldfish greenhouse. We had an excavator out here and they dug holes, we put sonotubes in those holes, we backfilled them all up, and then poured concrete, and then ripped off the remaining cardboard sonotube to reveal the foundation for the goldfish greenhouse. Stay tuned to watch how this entire thing played out. No way, guys. The concrete people are here right now to begin digging the sonotubes for the goldfish greenhouse. Check this out. What's going on? Got the excavator here. So before they started digging, they had to determine two important things. One, where exactly is each sonotube going to be placed? I made that very easy for them because I already drew out the exact perimeter, perfectly squared up, of where this building is going to be. They just had to mark along that perimeter where those sonotubes are going to be dug. And the second important piece of information is at what height are they going to pour them all to? So they make sure that, all the sonotubes pass that certain height. That's why they got this fancy laser piece of equipment over here that's shooting out a laser so they can get an equal height across all of them so they can determine, at what exact grade do they want these all to sit. Now, the next step was digging with the excavator a hole for each sonotube to be placed in the ground. Now, this was a little difficult because you do want to get a little below 4 feet to be below the frost line, but I'm building this foundation above a previous foundation with some dirt filled in the area above. So when you dig away some of the dirt, you run into the previous foundation of the old building here. So for some of these, we actually just drilled into the old concrete and tied in with rebar. Other ones where it was just close enough, it was basically just resting above it. And then for other ones where the other foundation was not there, just because it was a weak wall that was able to be torn out, we got it all the way set in. So that's why you'll notice that the sonotubes, when we're setting them in, they're not all at the same height. They're not all the way down for all of them, just because we're having it basically rest on top of the old foundation that I had covered up with a bunch of dirt. Okay, the first two sonotubes are in the ground, so these are on the back wall area. They're around 9 feet apart, and there's basically the exact same formation it is on this side is what it's going to be on the other side. So this is the 20-foot side that they're working on first, and then along each side is the 48-foot side. Now, something you'll notice about these concrete guys, how they're setting in these sonotubes, is that they're using an excavator instead of an auger. And because they're using an excavator, they're digging a much larger area than the actual width of the sonotube. And this way, they're actually able to put these little black bases on them. So I don't know if you see those little black plastic bases, but they put that around the base of the sonotube, and that basically allows for the concrete to flow and bow out, and that gives it a nice thick, wider foot to the actual tube, so it's much less likely to sink and tilt to one or another side over time, just because the actual base part of the concrete that's all the way down in the ground is 3 times the thickness. If you did this with an auger, you can't do that because you can't get it wide enough for that. So that I really do like about this. I feel like it's going to result in a much longer lasting, problem-free, hopefully, foundation for this greenhouse. It's not a serious building, just a galvanized steel greenhouse. But having these larger bases, these larger concrete bases for these sonotubes, I'm sure is just going to give it some more stability in the long run. And now to answer the question that everyone has in the back of their head: how much did this cost? So honestly, surprisingly, this job was less expensive than I thought it was going to be. So I was initially planning on digging all these holes, putting all these sonotubes in myself, mixing a bunch of concrete by hand and doing all that myself, making sure the grade and all that was correct. I was planning on doing that all myself because I was thinking man, if I hire this out, this is going to be $10,000, $15,000. That was the range I was guessing. But these guys quoted me $7,900 for 14 sonotubes. So $7,900 for 14 sonotubes. They got them all lined up perfectly. Even though I already had set the perimeter of the place up for them, they had marked exactly along the perimeter where to dig. They dug, they put them in, they shot them at the correct height, they filled them to the correct height. And there's a lot of value in having all that precision because I'm not an expert in this field. And if you screw up the foundation, you really screw up the whole building. The whole thing's going to be tilted, or it's not going to be able to be built correctly. So I think I got a pretty solid deal for this. Even though all these sonotubes are not at the same exact height right now, what they will do eventually before they pour the concrete is cut them to all the same height. Because they're at different depths right now, and the grade of the ground is also slightly different too. So they're going to be cut to all the exact same height, and then the greenhouse will be able to sit level on top of all of them. Okay, we're backfilling some of the sonotubes now. Alright, so while these guys continue digging, I do want to just voice over and tell you guys that this new greenhouse that we're building here is going to be approximately 1,000 square feet. So it's 20 by 48 feet, which is pretty close to 20 by 50, which is 1,000 square feet. And the troughs alone, even in one single one of these concrete troughs that this is being built over, is going to have more water volume than my entire fish basement. So all the tanks I have in my fish basement, I did a quick calculation, just one of the 3 troughs, these concrete troughs, will have more water volume than everything I have down there. And I have extra space around the troughs to have other tanks and other raised beds and fish and stuff as well. So having this goldfish greenhouse is going to way maximize my, my potential to grow and breed fish. This really is the next big step of Luke's Goldies, and where the breeding and the growing out and the selling of fish and everything will be occurring. So this is a very special day. I've been working out of the basement for some time, and it really is limiting. I just don't have enough water volume to really grow out the fish that I want to grow out. But now I will, once this thing is completed. Oh, I'm surprised it's not wet down there. Usually it's pretty muddy out here.
Yeah, it's just the top, like, couple layers.
That's good. Oh, here's my brother. Okay, y'all, I gotta take my brother to the airport now, so I'll be back later. Hopefully they'll be done by then. Okay, we're filling up the very last sonotube now. Just backfilling around it. And this is the very last one here. Okay, all the sonotubes are in now, and they're just gonna stay like this until Monday, and on Monday the concrete comes. Okay, it is 7 a.m. on Monday, finally concrete day. The workers are back here, the dogs are out, and it's time to finally pour the concrete. Okay, concrete truck is here, and our sonotubes are filled up. So if you see that little nail right there, that they shot a laser, and that nail determines the very top of where it's supposed to be. So that's how they're all level, is because they're all at that nail point. And these should be hard in the next couple days. Concrete reveal. Yeah, so in certain areas, sometimes the concrete settles like slightly. So you can see how this nail is slightly higher than when they first poured it. So there are going to be some shims that I'm going to use, basically metal shims, where I can basically adjust the thickness of the base plate to still allow it to all be perfectly level, even though the heights of them are all not perfectly level. Ideally, every single sonotube would be the exact same height, and that's basically what these are marked for. But again, this one might sink in a millimeter or two after they pour it, as it kind of settles in, and as the soil kind of brings it down and as it dries. So you're never going to get 100% accuracy. That's why shims, metal shims are good, because that's going to allow it to basically remain the same exact height. Like this one, you can see here, it's closer to the nail hole, so this is probably 0.5 millimeter taller than the other one. Watch! Concrete reveal. Wow, beautiful. Wow, so look how much rain we got last night. It really pulled up over that. Hopefully that didn't misshape it at all. No, looks good. Looks good. Oi! Man, some of these were put on here tightly. Okay. Okay, all the sonotube covers are off. Let's go pick them up. Let's be a good citizen and not litter. Okay, final update on the goldfish greenhouse foundation. It has fully cured. Actually, no, it has not fully cured. It doesn't fully cure for like a month, but it's cured enough. It's cured enough for me to take these off. You're actually supposed to take them off after a couple days. And, well, my goodness. Would you look at that? Would you look at that foundation right there? Boy. It's crazy. This is what the goldfish greenhouse is going to stand on. That's just wild. This is the rock. The literal concrete rock that our next step will take place on. Okay. Look at that. So, you know, you don't love to see air bubbles, but a couple little ones like that is okay. Alright, and that about does it for today's video. That is the full construction of the foundation for the goldfish greenhouse. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a like and a subscribe, because I'm going to be showing you every step of the process of building this greenhouse and getting it fully functioning. The next step is accepting the actual greenhouse kit package, which I'm gonna have to use a forklift for and drive into my property from a big flatbed truck. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Luke's Goldies out.